Okay, so before we start, you should know the formula for the circumference around the edge of a circle is pi times the diameter. That's how you work out the circumference. So that's an important formula that you should already know. And today we're looking at arcs. So we're looking at portions of the circumference. To find out the length of an arc, so one of the orange lengths in the first question, that could be, say, half or a tenth of a circle. So to do that, we say the arc length is the fraction of the circle that we've actually got times by the circumference. Okay, so the fraction will be the angle in the middle out of 360, however much we've got out of 360, and the circumference, as we've just said, is pi times diameter. So that's how we can always work out the arc length. In the first question, you can see they've been kind. They've actually told us the circumference. So we've got a little bit less work to do. So question A, that first one, how much of a circle have we got highlighted there in orange? We've got half of a circle. So that orange length is going to be half of the circumference. So 30 centimetres. I'll look at C. How much of a circle have we got this time? We can write it like this, 120 out of 360. You might have spotted that that's a third of the circle, but if not, it's fine to just use 120 out of 360 times the circumference, and that will give us 20. 1/3 of 60 is 20. Okay. B was just a quarter, so that was quite an easy one. And the last one there, 210 out of 360, that will be our fraction. It can simplify, but there's no need to. Times 60, and we get 35 that time. Okay, we'll look at a couple of the next ones. So if we've got an angle of 60 degrees, and they tell us again the circumference is 72 pi, they want the arc length. So we're using that purple formula. Arc length is the fraction times the circumference. Our fraction, we've got 60 degrees, so our fraction is 60 out of 360. And our circumference they've worked out is 72 pi. If you want to keep that in terms of pi for your calculator, just type in 60 out of 360 times 72 without the pi, and then write the pi onto your answer. I'll then go to the third one down. You can do the second one on your own. The third one down, we've been given the arc length and the angle, but not the circumference. So remember, arc length is the fraction times the circumference. So the arc length of 30 pi equals that fraction, 240 out of 360, times the circumference, which we don't yet know. To solve that then, because I want to know what the circumference is, I'll times both sides by 360. That's how I can get rid of that divided by 360 at the bottom. Times both sides by 360. And then I want C on its own, so we'll divide both sides by 240. And we'll get C is 45 pi. And obviously you could work that out as a decimal if you wanted. So we're always using this purple formula every time. The arc length is the fraction that we've got times the circumference. Final one, I'm just going to do 3A. So we want to know the arc length again. So I know that that's got to be the fraction that we've got times by the circumference. Okay, so in this case, the fraction is going to be 72 degrees out of 360. The circumference, we've got to do pi times the diameter. Hopefully you can see the radius is 4, so the diameter is 8. So the circumference is 8 pi. And then we can type that into our calculator, and without the pi, it will give us 1.6, and then just write down the pi at the end. So don't type the pi into your calculator if you want to leave it in terms of pi. And we're done.